All right, y'all. So last night, Game 4 of the NBA Finals, to me, showed why SGA was the MVP of this season. When needed the most, he locked in. He took control of the game. I honestly think that Indiana's chance to win the NBA Finals was last night. It's 2-2 now. I'm sure you watched the game. They needed it. This is going to sound weird, but I think last night was a must-win for Indiana. Now, that's crazy because they were up in the series, but I think Indiana got their only win on the road that they were going to get in Game 1, and they stole that one. And to have home court advantage, to win Game 3 the way that they wanted, and to, in all intents and purposes, control most of Game 4, just for it to, dwindle in the last few minutes of the fourth quarter. It just seemed like they couldn't hit a shot, and OKC was hitting everything. Shai really locked in. I think that was their chance. Last night was their chance. Jalen Williams had a really good game, 27 points. Like, he didn't shoot, excellent from the field, 8 for 18, but I think he dictated the flow for them in a lot of stretches of the game where Shai was a little quiet. He kind of turned up a little bit in the fourth quarter, Shai. Because I don't even think Shai attempted a free throw in the first half, right? So he got a bit more aggressive. Shai ended up finishing with 35. Alex Criscoe had a big 20 off the bench. Can't sleep on Chet Holmgren's game. 14 points, 15 boards. Can't sleep on it. And for him to be string bean, he's pretty durable. He rolled his ankle a couple times. He took a knee to the shin. Really pretty durable, right? But Indiana, this guy right here, got to have more than 18 points. If you're going to be the man, 7 for 15, and I know he's the typical point guard, the quintessential point guard. Maybe that's just not his game, but I don't know. I don't think that you can be the number one option or the number one guy on a championship winning team and only shoot 15 shots. Got to shoot more than that. You got to get more shots up. Pascal had 20. Tyrese had his 18, and they've proven when he scores more than 20 points, they're a very hard team to beat. Obi Toppin had 17 big points off the bench. Really played well. Negative 15 plus minus is crazy, though. But, all in all, Ben Mathurin he was up there looking like, what's my man, Brian Anderson? Missing the free throws down the stretch. It's horrible. So, I just want to look at this quick video of post-game. Shai is just chopping it up with NBA TV people. I just think that Indiana had their chance. Now, I mean, this still can go the distance, right? It's the best 2 out of 3 now at this point. But I don't even think it's going to the 7th game. Now, originally, I don't think I made a video. I can't remember if I made it. I don't think I made a video. I haven't been making enough videos. I'm sorry. But I think I originally picked OKC in 6. But, Indiana, they squandered. They really squandered a really good chance to take control of the series and potentially win it in 5 on the road. It's a young OKC team. You get a team like that down 3-1, you can just go ahead and put your foot on their neck. You can potentially beat them in the 5th game. You don't even have to worry about going back to Indianapolis. But let's just see what Shai has to say. This is after Game 4 win last night.
The aforementioned tough cover, this man, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the reigning most valuable player in the NBA, joining us here after that incredible fourth quarter where...
My man Icy, ain't he? That NBA money something crazy.
Shai goes for 15 points, 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Let's start here. Congratulations on the win. Tie up the series at 2. But the beginning of the game, noticeable changes. Starting lineup changed, and your rotation minutes changed. How much of a conversation was those two things going into tonight? And how important was it to winning?
Yeah. We trust Coach with all those things. He's done such a good job of keeping us flexible all year with the lineup changes, the minute changes.
15 points in the fourth quarter. Yeah, see. Okay, so he was 8 for 8 from the free throw line in the fourth, and he attempted 10 free throws for the game. So yeah, free throw merchant. I early on, I kind of subscribed to that ideology that he was a free throw merchant. The more I watch Shai and his game, he just plays smart, and you have to match his IQ with discipline on the defensive end. You got to stay down. There was a few plays. Indiana, I thought they played well defensively against Shai and against Jalen Williams. They stayed down. I think Obi Toppin had a defensive play, and maybe I'll break some of these plays down from a defensive standpoint. But Obi Toppin stayed down on a few shots. It's like, when you really think about it, you're not really going to block a jump shooter, a good jump shooter. You're not really going to block his shot. You just want to close and strongly contest. Don't land in his landing space and don't foul. So it's more or less discipline from a defensive standpoint. We already know the rules are kind of, cater to the offensive side of the ball, but defensively, you still have to have your discipline. And I think Indiana did a pretty good job of that last night. But just as a whole, this narrative that Shai is a free throw merchant, I think is false.
So in moments like these when we need to adjust, or he feels like we need to adjust, it's pretty seamless for us. And tonight was just an example of that.
Obviously defensively down the stretch, you guys really rattled them. I mean, their offense, they've been so good in the game situations. The defense collectively being able to shut them down, clamp down. What was the mindset?
We
what
may
were you
not
guys
watch all of
doing?
this.
Was it just sort of sticking to your principles that you've done throughout the season? Is it, 4 games in now, you know them a little bit better? Just the thought process collectively, defensively down the stretch. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's all about like focus and intensity for us. Just like sticking to our principle. I think you hit it on the nose. When we are locked in, when we're playing together defensively, when we're physical, when we're into the ball, really just to our identity is when we see the best version of ourselves. Tonight we didn't have it as much as we liked, and that's why the game was in their control for the most of it. But if we want to win this series, we got to control that end of the floor for sure and do a better job throughout the whole game.
I think they really. That's crazy. I think that's OKC's a really, really great defending team. There was a few plays where Halliburton was bringing the ball up the floor and he was being pressured by either Dort or Caruso. I think most of the night was Caruso. And you can press Hallie. I've noticed that if you press Hallie enough, he's gonna turn the ball over. Right there at the half court mark, I think there was one where he stepped on the line. It was backcourt. There was one where as soon as he crossed over half court, they trapped him right there and he threw the ball away. There was another one. I don't remember if it was this game, maybe if it was game 3. Caruso just stripped him, like ripped him. Might have been game 3, towards the end of the game. Just ripped him, picked his pockets clean. So you press him enough, you can get him to make a costly error. And I think OKC kind of got away from that early on in the game, this game 4. But they locked in the fourth quarter. They played championship defense.
You all were down 2-1 going to Denver with a must-win.
Absolutely.
Basically game 4. Same situation here. How much did you reflect on that situation? And what was the conversation like in the locker room? Because you guys always seem like no matter what, y'all stay calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, we know we'd been here before. Now the stakes are a little bit different and the opponent's different, so you don't ever want to compare it too much. But every time you lose, especially the way we lost last game, there's things that you let slip. And our focus was to just try to be a better basketball team for the next game and take care of those things that slipped and weren't to our identity. And we didn't have it, like I said, for a full 48 tonight, but we got it in time and we were able to pull this one out.
Coach went back to the big, and y'all were able to dominate on the offensive glass because I thought the two most, obviously you close, which is that's your job.
Don't mean to cut you off, Chuck. But yeah, I thought that was weird too. When they took Hardenstein out the lineup and started Wallace. I mean, what has been working for you this entire? You won 68 games with this lineup. Why would you change it in the NBA Finals and change it game one? Like, it's not even an adjustment that you're making based off of how Indiana is playing you. The series hadn't even started yet. So I thought that was a little odd that they did that. Presumably to match Indiana's athleticism, I'm going to go with, because of the matchups and, the way that Indiana's bigs play. If you're thinking Miles Turner, you're thinking Pascal Siakam. If you have Hardenstein and Chet out there, who's guarding who? But, yeah, I mean, Miles Turner, he wants to shoot the three. I think he thinks that he's a better three-point shooter than he actually is. He probably should stop shooting that. But, Chet is decent when it comes to, closeouts. And even if he gets beat, he's so long that he can recover and he can still alter a shot. So going back to that big, it made it difficult for Indiana to just abuse them on the offensive glass or, for any cleanups. So I don't foresee them going back to Wallace in the starting lineup. I think Hardenstein out there makes more sense for OKC moving forward. Even if you lose a little bit of perimeter defense, if you lose a lot of perimeter defense, actually, and a little bit of offense, you're gaining rim protection and you're gaining another rebounder, another rebounding presence. That's, it's going to make it easier for you to clean up defensive possessions.
As the man. But I thought the two big things, Chet on the offensive board,
absolutely. But
also I thought Caruso's energy level, it's contagious. I thought that was huge. What do you think about that?
Caruso was the MVP last night.
He's been that our whole playoff run. He makes timely stops, timely steals, timely deflections, timely plays, big shots. Like, he's just a gamer. He's the only one on our team with the championship ring, and it's no coincidence. Like, he knows how to win big games and big moments. He arrives. I told him after the game, like, that
might have been a foul, but sure. He ripped him there.
He deserves all the praise for that. He's a big-time performer, and we're seeing it in front of our eyes.
Okay. We don't have to watch any more of that. But all in all, I mean, I think now that we're towards the end of the finals, I may break down the rest of these games. There's two left, and then I need two more breakdowns. But all in all, this has been a really good series. 4 games in, tied 2-2. Road team is 1-1, home team is 1-1, both sides. It's been a really good series, even if it's not sexy on paper. 2 small market teams. This has really been a competitive series. It's been really good games throughout. I'm thoroughly enjoying this finals, much more than I did last year. I still think it's OKC in 6. I think it's OKC in 6 now. I don't even think it goes. I think it's OKC in 6. I can't see Indiana winning Game 5, and if it's 3-2 OKC going back to Indiana, while it will be a close game, I think Shai will show why he was the MVP, why he was deserving of the MVP. And they close out in 6. It's my thoughts. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Let me know what your picks are for the next 3 games, potentially. But who you think is going to close out this finals run. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, por favor. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button on your way out the door. See you on the next one.